tonight, hey, Gump. Can you?
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
No, don't fucking fix it.
Oh shit, we didn't record any of that. It was blinking.
It was blinking. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, oh Tracy, are you serious?
Oh no.
Doug looked at it.
I can't see anything.
From the top, everybody. Position 1.
How you feel, Gump?
Pretty good.
All right. Cogent. You can tell us.
That's outside my vocabulary.
I think I might be too drunk. You might have to carry this. But Gump has a good story. Gump. We've mentioned the Gumps in earlier podcasts. Foreshadowing, I think, is the word. The Gumps. It was Halloween. Chaille likes to do Halloween with the Mrs. Chaille. They make the haunted yard, not the haunted house, because you don't want them to be that intrusive.
Everyone tries to go in the house, but Tracy blocks them.
You set up a haunted yard.
It's a yard. It's a butcher, the Butcher of Black Knob.
But let's plug Ghost Ride.
Yes.
You, Chaille, and your twin brother have this business that you do special effects for all the major haunted houses across the country.
International.
So the Gumps, as we call them, show up during Halloween of this year of our Lord last year. Back when people believed in the Lord. The Gumps show up in this pseudo camper caravan. If you're UK people,
it's an RV. It's under 35 feet. It's a smaller one.
They're just hanging out in front of your house. You think they're trick or treaters because the Gumps are like 21 years old.
They showed up, and then a couple days before Halloween, and then on Halloween there was so much heat downtown for RVs parking. Because the cops were for a little while.
Gumps are there.
I told them to come out
night.
here.
This is how I remember it, which I don't remember, but I heard.
This is how I remember it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I stayed in that night. The Gumps were there for your haunted yard.
Yes,
and you met everyone.
Yeah.
This is Gump. We call him Gump. Because he's originally from Mississippi, just turned 21, and he talked. Go ahead, talk. Tell me a sentence. Tell me one story from your life.
Don't hold the Mississippi thing against me, please. I don't really have any stories right now. I guess we can get into that.
All right, he's not talking like Gump.
No.
He's trying to enunciate.
Enunciate?
All right, so the Gumps show up. They are living in a camper down there on Black Knob View. Black Knob View.
That never caught on. Sorry.
Because the Chaille said, "Oh yeah, you can park out here. We'll run a cable to your."
I ran him a 110 line.
110?
No dumping of sewage.
We don't have any sewage.
They have no sewage. He rides a bicycle to the corner store to take his shit, and that's how the Gumps are known in the Warren area of Bisbee by all the corner store people. They love the Gumps. They're kids. I used to talk about this when I was a young comic starting out. Everyone would, "Oh, you're a comedian. You're making your way on the road. Here's a sack lunch." And I go, if you're 50 years old and you're still living out of your car like I was when I was 23, get the fuck away from my kids. You're creepy.
But Doug, what were you doing when you were 21?
Doing what he did.
That's when you do what they're doing.
And everyone loves them in town. Gump has no skills. His wife has skills as a titty dancer, but there's no titty bar. But that's why we're doing this podcast. Yeah, she can do everything. You can do nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for her. I would have been dead a long time ago.
Enunciate.
You need to actually
Yes.
just be louder. You don't have to enunciate.
Get that guy a shot.
Yeah.
Gump gets really chatty when he drinks.
Is Mrs. Gump coming with cigarettes, or did you?
Oh, here, have a cigarette, son.
Stay at the house.
Oh, okay. Thanks, sir.
Gump, what do you want to shop?
All right,
Doesn't matter.
let.
Wow, that's 21 right there. What do you want a shot? It doesn't matter. Hey, give him the fucking hairy buffalo, Trace.
What is the hairy?
Get a lighter.
Hairy buffalo is
Light
everything.
that guy's kid cigarette.
A hairy buffalo
All right.
is you take the bar mat
Yeah, someone might want to.
and you pour that into a shot glass.
All right, Gump, we're getting.
Hey, and this one's on me.
We're going straight into it.
Okay.
You are here with Mrs. Gump. You are freshly 21.
Thank you.
Mrs. Gump is 24.
Yes.
She's evidently a, she brought him into a life of crime.
What?
The worst crime. He's like the
Pedophilia?
oh
That's the worst crime ever.
no. How
The worst one?
he smuggled drugs. We're gonna go
okay.
straight into it.
The most honest crime.
He was a kid in Colorado, rural Colorado. Let's not give away too many things.
Yeah.
Rural Colorado. You met a girl and she introduced you. You're a kid.
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
And now, yeah, you're fucking still
On
a
paper,
kid.
on paper.
Okay, let's
They're 3 years apart, Doug.
let's get to where you met a girl who introduced you to a girl. You had your eyes on a girl.
So I moved to rural Colorado.
Small town, smaller than this.
From Mississippi, you went straight to Colorado?
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Don't worry. I pre-interviewed.
All right.
Lived in Colorado for a little bit and then moved to a smaller town. And
Good move.
From Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
2 years in Colorado.
Look at Doug. Don't look at me. I'll throw you off track.
Okay. And so there was this chick that worked at the gas station that, you know,
Tattooed.
things.
Suicide girl. I like
Oh,
your
yeah.
taste.
So I was just like, we need to hang out at some point, do something that will maybe lead to something else, possibly.
As he buys 17 hot dogs a day.
He's pumping gas. Oh, are you seeing anyone?
I just pump it on the ground. I didn't have a car at the time. But so shortly after, I found out she was a lesbian, and she was in a relationship with Mrs. Gump. No, shouldn't say that.
Yes, the girl that you're with now. You met a girl
So
that you thought was cute, and then you found out she was a lesbian in a relationship with the girl you're with now, Mrs. Gump.
yeah, so I was just like, well, nothing else is gonna happen, but she'll sell me weed for pretty cheap, so at least I can have a hot drug dealer. So that played out in my favor. So we all just sort of became friends over the course of time. And I think maybe about a year after this happened. Yeah.
I know he's 21 and he can't figure out.
I'm trying
2
to
years.
fit this in. Did you
What
graduate
year
high
was
school?
that? The 1 year or the other year?
So he graduated high school. So this is from 18 and a half,
You can't figure out.
or
the
maybe
year.
19.
Let him go, because I could tell you the story.
No, I
probably
don't want
more
to hear it from you.
succinctly.
I love hearing it from him because then I believe him.
Where were we?
You met the girl at a gas station, the
Okay.
lesbian.
Yeah.
You don't know she's a lesbian, but you have the hots for her. This is how I remember it from weeks ago. And the fact that I remember weeks ago is a good thing.
So
The lesbian girlfriend shows up, who is now Mrs. Gump,
Yes.
at a bar where you're underage,
He's
and
underage.
everyone hates her. Am I wrong?
Hold on, you're jumping ahead, Doug.
you're sort of right, but it wasn't a bar. It was just a party.
Okay.
We were at a...
Because you had spent a year buying drugs from the gal,
Yeah.
and so that's where I interrupted. Sorry, go ahead.
So
I got this, Chaille.
I know, but you
Shush.
went too fast.
the two
I
stories
want you
are
to
the
slow
same.
down,
Okay.
Gump.
All right, let me fast forward. Gump meets a girl at a gas station. You're pumping gas. You go, oh, she's kind of cute. I want to go. And you meet up with her at a party. Turns out she's a lesbian. That's when her lesbian lover, who's now Mrs. Gump, shows up. Everyone hates her. And you go, oh, I like her even better because everyone hates her.
Yeah.
All right, we should have just started with that.
That's good.
Boom. Now what happens?
Well, first of all, Mrs. Gump,
This ends up with Gump
What are you
smuggling
doing?
drugs.
Stop it! Stop it!
I'm talking to the
doing it
listener
fun.
who is bored with us.
What the fuck?
They want us to talk slower. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
When he introduced a lesbian,
I was
couple.
teasing them.
So, she shows up to this party. Everyone hates her for just
Mrs.
bullshit
Gump.
reasons. And, I remember we were playing this weird game where it's like, if you could kill anybody in the room, like, who would you leave alive? Or some shit like that. And she picked
Hang
me.
on.
And I was just like,
Ha-
oh. Okay.
Hang on. You're playing if you could kill anyone in the room.
Well, no, if you could.
Because
leave
we have a
anybody
big room
alive.
full of people right now.
Doug, it's the opposite. It's you could leave someone alive in the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'd
okay.
kill everyone
All right,
except
everyone
one person.
make a mental note at the end of the podcast. We pick. Go ahead.
So, after that, going back to what we were originally talking about, her girlfriend was just selling me weed for about a year, and we were all just friends, hang out and shit. Then they broke up, and her Mrs. Gump's ex-girlfriend approached me on the street one day and said, I need someone, a shoulder to cry on. You're that person. We're friends now. Like, actual friends. I was like, oh okay. I guess.
How did you hide your boner?
Well, at this point,
It's like Derek. He tapes it down.
Go ahead.
well, this. Mrs. Gump's ex-wife was quite the crazy person, so
No
that kind of
fucking
kept
kidding.
No, like extra fucking crazy person.
Okay.
In layman's terms. So we're friends for like 3 months, and then Mrs. Gump's ex wants me to move to Denver with her, and I'm just like, fuck that. I hate Denver. I would never live in Denver.
Yeah.
Even if,
Mississippi's where it's at.
anyways, so
Any sex with this with the ex?
no, just
None.
lots of
just
free weed.
like a lot of chit
Free
chat.
weed, he
Lot of
said.
chit-
Free weed.
Oh, free
Yeah.
weed. Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
I would be
Yeah.
company to go pick
Wait,
it up.
that's better than
yeah.
free sex, by the way.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Kind of weigh your priorities. Anyways, so
Faggot.
Said this guy who's living on the street. Wait, your
Go ahead.
priorities.
So she says, move to Denver with me. Help me sell weed.
she says move to Denver, and I came up with some bullshit excuse like I can't. Or
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm under a lot of stress at work.
exactly.
Oh, sorry, those are boner excuses.
So she leaves, and I'm just like, well, I don't have a medical card at this point.
She went to Denver.
She went to
She's
Denver.
fucking yeah.
She's gone.
I don't need you.
From rural Colorado. You're still in Colorado,
Yes.
but it's a 3-hour commute. I don't have gas money. You said.
Yeah. So I needed essentially another pretty drug dealer, and I remembered Mrs. Gump.
The ex. Her ex.
And
The
so,
lesbian ex.
Lesbian ex.
So I started texting her, and then, yeah, she sold to me for a little while. Then we started hanging out, and that came to us getting an apartment with some other guy. I won't say his name.
No, it's all right. You
No.
don't have to say his name, but I thought it was like a lot of people.
Her dad?
that you.
Who was the other guy?
So it's just
Jeez.
3 roommates. I thought it was
Yeah.
a bunch of roommates,
just
but it's
3 of
just
us.
3 of you in a house in rural Colorado. So
He was just some dude that would pick up.
you have to
homeless
remember,
people
Gump
and-
is only now 21. At this point, he's 19. We all had these situations where
Doug was that guy. Doug, you were Gump in Vegas when you were staying at that crack dealer's
and
house.
before that, well, whoever. What can you chip in?
You had cheap rent.
Yeah. You all slum together like other countries
this is
do
so
for
sweet, the way
real.
you like stick up for him and everything.
He's my boy.
I'm seeing this now.
I've
This
adopted
is a
him.
beautiful
That's
story.
at the end. Go ahead.
It's my biological
All right,
father.
so let's cut. Let's cut to. We'll save that for later. Let's cut to when you start smuggling drugs. The worst way ever.
That wasn't the worst way. Well, it was the shittiest way ever for us.
Literally.
So now you meet Mrs. Gump, the ex-lesbian Gump, and she's like, "Okay, you can fuck me, but we have to start smuggling drugs." I'm just cutting.
Yeah, because I knew the people that would be willing to pay 4 times what you would ever pay for weed in your entire life, and she had a car.
Why do you keep talking quieter the more I keep trying to bring you up?
I don't know. You're scaring me.
Wait, when you say 4, when you know the people that are going to pay 4 times as much, you mean you're in a college town? White kids? Yeah.
Like polo, khaki short.
Got it. Pop collar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Roger that.
hey, listener, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start telling Gump's story the way I remember it until he yells over me where I get it wrong, because he can't just theater voice.
Tell him to be more like project.
You meet.
Get 2 more shots and he will automatically be louder.
You get back to the lesbian lover, Mrs. Gump now. And you go, okay, and then you hook up and you're roommates.
We lived together, we hooked up, and then we were sort of like just kept it hid from everybody, and then we started realizing, oh, well, we get shit for $100 an ounce, and there's people that would be willing to pay $400 an ounce.
Wait, hang on. First of all, you hooked up with her knowing they were lesbian lovers, but you fucked her. Did she go, oh, I can't believe I was ever with women?
Oh,
You
no, it
made
was terrible. Yeah.
Explain.
Wait, for who?
Explain.
For who?
When I said Mrs. Gump was a jack of all trades, I mean, she's...
Except for heterosexual fucking? She failed miserably, or did you?
No, I failed miserably, but she corrected me, I guess, over the course of time.
So she cut off your dick and made it a clit?
Hang on. No, explain. She corrected you. Explain. We can cut out all the awkward pauses.
I'm not cutting anything out.
Go ahead.
That's okay.
Jonathan said this is like witnessing child abuse.
He's 21 now.
Now.
So how did you fail and how did she correct you? This is very pertinent for the listener.
Oh, as you can probably imagine,
No, I don't want to.
Well, the 23-year-old lesbian had a little bit more on her sexual history list than what I ever did. So I think all that, like...
How did she correct you?
She taught me how to eat pussy and how to use my dick right.
She's a lesbian. How did she tell you how to use your dick right?
She's not... It went heterosexual, lesbian, and then back to me, which I guess you could say is heterosexual.
It's bisexual. That's what it is.
No, specifically. How did she tell you?
Oh, like
because
bullet-
I'm 50.
like bullet
I don't
points?
know.
Oh, I don't fucking remember. You think we fucked sober? Look at me. Look
This
at her.
isn't Gump. This isn't a time where you thought this isn't like calculus in high school, pre-calculus. This is a time I should pay attention. A girl is showing me what to do with my dick.
Are we at 20 minutes?
Yes.
Because we have to drop a commercial at 20 minutes. You're going to have to, because we're still
This
not
is a cliffhanger
anywhere.
if ever.
Oh no, we're still not at his fucking weakest attempts at hauling drugs. So we'll be right back after we have to drop some commercials. And don't worry, this gets fucking way better. All right. This morning I was having breakfast down at Morning's Cafe with my good friends Vicky and Rich Fulop, you know, from Brooklyn.
Oh, the Fulops, yeah.
Yeah, the Fulops. They started Brooklyn and Sheets with a vision in 2014. And we get to talking about the sheets. I was fresh out of a pair, went down, well rested. You spend a third of your life in bed, and I spend that third of my life on Brooklyn and Sheets. So obviously it's going to come up over the course of a vegetarian omelet. And I said, Vicky, Rich, what was your philosophy behind Brooklyn and Sheets? And they said it was simple. Beautiful home essentials and no crazy prices. Because Becker, one of our pet peeves is crazy prices when it comes to luxury sheets.
That's right.
They said, what did you pay for your last set of sheets before Brooklyn? And I said, $666.
Why
That's
66?
Crazy. Yeah, it's the mark of the beast. That's fucking insane. I start banging on the table. I spill maple syrup all over everything. I get fucking crazy about crazy prices. Simple prices, not crazy. No unnecessary markups. That's another part of their philosophy. All of their markups completely necessary. Not like other sheet companies. They jack you up as much as 300%. Vicky gets into a lather. Rich has to calm her down. Anyway, they picked up the tab.
Oh, the Fulops.
Fulops. That sounds like one of those acronyms from the military.
Well, I want to thank the Fulops personally because it's become part of my comfort system now that I have. I had a comfort blanket. Jenny made me a blanket out of my old Army uniforms. I cut them up and she put them on top and then made a blanket out of it.
Wait, when you say cut them up, I assume that you're slashing at bad memories.
No, it was more of I was going to throw them away, and we didn't know what to do with them, and it was a lot of good material, and she was sewing at the time, so she made me a blanket out of it, which I now like and carry around. It's very comfortable. But for my next, she has more of the extra cloth, and for my next one, I'm going to specifically order some Brooklyn and sheets to be sewn onto the blanket.
The fun side.
It's so fucking comfortable. I carry it around. Now I have to carry around 2 blankets because my Brooklyn and sheet is fucking more comfortable than my comfortable blanket. So my depression haze where I wander from the bed to the sofa, I have to carry 2
Linus
blankets.
meets Private Pile.
That's gonna go. I go, this is a weird image. You crawl around with a blanket of your old clothes.
Listen, Brooklyn can sometimes save people from being murdered in ways that they don't even understand with just a little bit of comfort.
They do tout their versatile color and patterns. They probably don't have slashed apart old military uniforms as a pattern, but maybe now they will. Maybe they'll have pink camouflage, the Becker pattern. Who knows?
Goes with your house.
This is luxury bedding underpriced. You have to try these sheets. Hit some copy, Chad.
I already said that I love my Brooklyn and sheets.
I love my Brooklyn and sheets.
I love my Brooklyn and sheets. Brooklinen.com has an exclusive offer for Stanhope podcast listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code Stanhope at Brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so confident that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee. Oh, you won't need 60 nights for sure. And a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code Stanhope at Brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code Stanhope. Brooklinen. These are the best sheets ever.
And that Vicky's a hot piece of ass.
Oh, Fulop ass.
All right, while we're on break, last night, whatever night that was, we were having a party of sorts. I'm going to bed early at 7:51 p.m. That's how early I go to bed when it's an all-day party. I get a text from Al of the Al and Al neighbors saying, don't want to bother you at this hour, but someone just hit my car. talk to Morgan Murphy, who's renting down the street 2 doors down, saying, I heard a papoomph. Saw a black car. I won't give away your car, but it was Al of the not Al and Al, Alex O'Mara. Fuck you. I'll out you because you will never. Every time I say, please don't drive drunk, you do.
I wasn't that drunk.
Yeah, you weren't.
I really
just
wasn't.
didn't notice that you hit my neighbor's fucking car.
I totally didn't know.
But you did after I called you last night.
And I was like, what the fuck is that about? You left this weird message about
do
being
you
a dildo.
Drive a certain car?
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then I tried to call you back, and you were sleeping at 9.
No, you called me back, and I answered, but it was already dead. I answered it too late.
Okay.
Got a message this morning. Hey, got a weird message from you last night.
Yeah.
Some weird thing about my car. I go, hey, someone smashed into my neighbor's car, and someone said it was you. That's Morgan Murphy was the someone.
I saw her. I remember seeing her. So, yeah.
And she remembered seeing you right before you smashed into my neighbor's car.
Oh, my fucking...
And this morning, you left me a message. Yeah. I get a message this morning. You left me a weird message last night. And I go, someone said you smashed into the... And you go, that's weird. I don't remember smashing into a car, which means I very well could have. Let me go check my car.
And there's a stripe of paint on it.
And
I just got out of work.
Your paint is gold and theirs is black. You could,
yeah. It's like team.
Smash into your car. And I said, because the Als and I, we went to Pinos Altos recently.
Yes.
Last Suburban we went to Pinos Altos, and we had our Suburban, Chaille smashed into a stump that was...
To be fair, Pinos Altos, none of those fucking streets on their private property, I understand it's private property, none of it is...
They're not streets.
It is basically a wide trail for people to walk two abreast. That's what we're talking about.
Chaille made the...
Suburban width, exactly.
Barely.
Barely, yeah.
Chaille made the decision he would drive drunk. What's that? Like a quarter of a mile to the bar. And no one lives there.
Objection, Your Honor. We were driving back, and I took a turn into the same place we stayed last time. And that turn, even now looking at it, I'm like, that is just too sharp of a turn.
They have a small stump that tells you, just like an embankment at a Walmart, they have a small stump because they want to make it like nature-ish. You smashed into the fucking thing.
The stump wasn't a stump that sat on top of the ground. This was a tree they cut off that was not going to yield one bit.
Point being,
there's a big difference there. If a pylon is there, but it's actually cemented to the ground below it, that's not
either
like
way.
a
You
pylon.
can't see it from the height of a Suburban. So you bumped into that, smashed in the middle of the bumper. It's a dent.
Left quarter panel.
It's a dent.
Yeah.
So we woke up. Bingo. We all know Bingo's kind of not with it all the time. So in the morning, when I saw the dent, Chaille went, oh, fuck. I thought So we blame Bingo. When she woke up, I go, Bingo, you drove drunk and smashed in. She's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. So we let her believe that as long as it was funny, which is still funny years later.
I did it?
No, Bingo.
No, it's funny to make you believe you did it.
I have to tell you, I bought 3 different sizes of plungers to try and suck out that bumper. It's fiberglass or whatever the fucking composite is.
So this morning, after last night, I get a text from Al, the dude Al, says, hey, I don't want to bother you, but someone hit my car. And then I had already heard from Morgan Murphy that I think it was Alex because he was right behind me and he's gonna. I go, I don't know what he drives. I don't look at people's cars. I'm down low here. And then this morning we did a lot of research, and yeah, he drives the same car that she said probably hit the car. And I texted Alex, who's like, I don't remember hitting a car. Like, if you didn't hit a car, you'd go, I didn't hit a fucking car. Alex says,
Oh, no.
I don't remember hitting a car.
Chance, man.
He said, let me check my car. And now Alex walks in tonight and says, all right, here's my, no, we don't do insurance. It's just like Pinos Altos. You run into a fucking thing. You have a dent. His car's drivable. It's ugly on a little tiny piece of the thing. And you blame Bingo. Because I think I saw Bingo driving Alex's car.
I didn't have that much
Drunk.
to drink.
Yeah, you don't think you had that much to drink, but you're a retard. So yeah, Bingo did it, and everyone drives around with a dent. And if you want to bring it to the People's Court on an upcoming podcast, we'll bring that up. But in the meantime, hey, Alex.
Be real careful pulling out of here tonight.
Oh,
Say that right now.
did you want to just stay the night here? We have an open we have an open bedroom, or do you just want to crash? You're gonna get ball busted from it. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you have a theme for a while. It's good. It's good to have one. Anything I can do for the cause.
Do you have a chip on your credit card, or do you just side swipe? All right, we can go on and on.
Wow.
That's what makes good neighbors, is good ball busting.
That's
All right, we have to get back to the podcast already in progress. Down.
Very good.
If you guys want to go back and fuck his girlfriend while we do the rest of this podcast, I think it's in play.
She
All right,
brought the
hey,
tip jar with
we're
her.
back.
That was funny.
Well, I hope
He said put out a
hope
tip.
you weren't recording.
He said put up a tip jar.
Gump said put up a tip jar. All right, Gump. All right, you're just a fucking kid. You were working where? At like a grocery store or something?
Pretty much everywhere.
Gas station?
I've worked at different gas
But at
stations.
the time where
yeah.
you met these
When I met her,
weird lesbians that were into all sorts of drugs.
I was a server at a golf course at the time when I met both of them when they were together. And it was terrible. It was great because there were no...
So within months, now you've left one lesbian for another lesbian to get free weed, and one of them says to you, we should smuggle weed because it's legal in Colorado. This is what fucked with me. When he told me this story initially, I'm like, well, oh wait, he's only now 21. So legalized weed was like in his youth, and now he's 21 and it's still his youth. And I'm thinking, this is way back when. No, this is recently for us.
It's
old
like
people.
when we were in high school, we go, like, weed will be legalized in like 2 years. Back in the 80s.
And it was. So the other lesbian that he fell back into getting free weed, which should be, everyone acknowledge, he's as much of a capitalist of old people as his wife is. As far as, I knew they were trying to fuck with me, but I just wanted free weed. And now they're living in a fucking camper down on our other street.
But I mean, he's being an 18/20
I know, and
year
now he's
old.
being a 21-year-old going, oh, I know where we can get free fucking snacks up at the fucking FunHouse.
Bisbee knows that.
Yeah. But he thinks it's a coup. So you're with the new lesbian.
The new lesbian.
Yep. You
She's an old lesbian.
throw some
I know.
cock at her, but she tells
A
you,
little bit.
oh, we should smuggle weed down to Mississippi.
I don't know whose idea it was
It
originally.
wasn't yours.
I'm guessing
I
it
know.
wasn't yours.
No, but I had a
No offense.
I had a medical card, and I knew people that were
You know that means you can't smuggle it across state lines, right?
Hang on.
I don't know if you know what a medical card means.
Chaille,
I know.
what was... You were 19. What was your medical reason for having a medical card?
I told them that I worked at a gas station. My back hurts sometimes.
Full stop. I worked at a gas station. You got it. Full stop. Right
Your
there.
back hurts. Okay. We get that.
I have like minute kidney stones.
Okay, so...
What? Whoa. Kidney stones?
Like not anything to worry.
stop.
It's just
Let me go.
Itty bitty
All right,
mice.
let me take
That's
this.
horrible.
Otherwise, this is going to be a 4-hour podcast with 40 minutes of
We can do a
content.
3-parter.
You have a medical card. But the lesbian who wants you to smuggle drugs doesn't.
She does not.
She's not smart enough to say, my back hurts from working a day job.
Well,
She needs you.
Well, I buy it for her anyways at this point. So she's like, why would I spend $80 to be able to buy it for myself when he could just do it for me?
Wait a minute. You're buying weed from her to give to her?
For her.
Originally, I bought weed from her. Then I
Okay.
got my medical card, and
Yeah.
then I just sort of...
Oh, then you bought it from dispensary.
yeah, and
Okay.
just sort of went for
Yeah,
it.
it seemed kind of weird that she's a
I
dealer.
think at this point, if we're talking about Mrs. Gump, not the original Gump, the original lesbian lover, we're talking
the
strictly
fantasy,
now.
the fantasy Gump and the
No, he met the first fucking lesbian,
I get it.
and now he's with Mrs. Gump, who we know, who's sitting over at Morgan Murphy's house all alone, stealing her shit.
She has my cigarettes, too.
putting things up on eBay. Fire
She
sale.
says, hey, why don't we smuggle drugs to the southeast from Colorado where they're newly legal?
Great idea.
And I said, okay.
And you went,
Fucking smart. Yeah.
What? And if we would have done it correctly, I should say.
I mean,
we
on
would've-
paper it works.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
We have what you want. You're willing to pay way more than what we can get it for.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, simple. But then we didn't take into consideration, shit, we have to drive 19 hours there, 19 hours back, sleep in the car, gas money, this, that. Oh, we still have to pay rent. We should get a dog.
What do we need taillights for? That's just another expense.
I don't see out the back of my fucking
Registration? What is that? Like, man trying to hold me down, trying to make me register my car?
How much is she controlling you at this point?
I think it's at like a 50-50 thing. Her so.
That's never been a 50-50.
50-50.
Here's why I, say
wish I
that.
had 50-50.
Here's why I say that, because I think she needs me emotionally, and I think I need her financially and physically.
Physically? What do you have, some bum leg? What are you, Derek all
You
over
need a
again?
crutch? We'll get you a crutch. I get a crutch here in 2
Tiny
minutes.
Tim.
I think Tracy's right.
What did Tracy say?
Sex.
Sex.
Oh, physically. Don't worry. We have old men that can do that for you.
Yeah.
Floyd?
Did he say Floyd?
I don't know what they said. All right, so she talks you into your first drug run from Colorado to Mississippi. Is the first one?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 1,900 miles, as you say.
Well, it's 19 hours. I don't know.
19 hours. Sorry. So,
It's
and
a
you're
long way.
smuggling how much weed
First time or just in general?
first time?
First time, I think we took 2 ounces just to be safe.
That's
Which
That
is
doesn't
what in town they bring across the street if they're awake.
Well, to the place we were going, you don't ever see any other tags other than. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm sure the authorities are monitoring this podcast. I will mark that one. We took that out.
Still, just to be safe. But we took 2 ounces down, but we got stopped.
2 ounces cost what in Colorado versus Mississippi?
We got it for $200, and I think they were going to buy it off of us for $600 or $700.
Jackpot!
Okay,
Righteous bucks,
so
dude.
you're about to make $400 for driving 19 hours each way, which How many hours is that total?
Jesus Christ. Like 38, 36.
Yeah!
38! He got it first try. He's not as Gump as you think he's Gump.
But yeah, looking back on it.
Wait, hang on. You just applied to a fast food place in town where you went back today to ask, not for a second interview, to ask if they would hire you. Would I get a second interview to make what? $9 an hour.
Serving fucking ice cream is the easiest job in the world.
I'll give you the interview right now.
Let's say it's Carvel.
I'll give you the interview right now.
Point is,
Let's do it.
Comprende español?
if you told
Goodbye.
if you,
Goodbye.
Point.
You're gone.
if
Yeah.
you told Friendly's Ice Cream that you would work 38 hours, $600. I'm trying to do the math.
I know, it's
Either way.
sad.
So now you drive panicked like Midnight Express. You're Billy Davis. You have this 2 ounces of weed strapped to just your chest in a small Band-Aid strip.
It wasn't that.
It could fit in your pocket. Probably your back pocket.
Yeah, but you keistered it. Anyway, so you
For-
drive
for
a
the story?
sweating 38 or 19 hours just to get there. You don't sweat on the way back. And you get there and you go, we made $600. And, honey, you get to see beautiful Mississippi. You're the worst drug smuggler ever.
She also got to experience her first tornado while she was there.
Oh.
While we were staying in a trailer. It was wonderful.
See how you bonus your employees?
The full experience. By the way, Doug, it was only 400, not 600.
200. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
400. $400
I just,
for 38
I don't want
hours.
to, I don't want to cheat the listener.
So what does that work out to
For anyone
on
playing
an
at
hourly
home?
rate? $10.50? Oh, it's the Al. It's the guy that
He already
does
did
nothing
it.
but
Doug,
math.
he did it without you even like saying, hey, someone do this. He already did it in his head.
$10.50 an hour you made,
Yeah.
Yeah.
risking a felony of possession with intent.
Yeah, well, possession with intent to sell.
But he
and-
got pussy.
Well, we both had jobs at the time, too. I was a dishwasher. So we did.
I'm sure that would hold up in court.
Yeah.
He's a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Did you go through Texas?
Could I get a couple
the worst
days
part of it.
off?
Doug, he went through Texas. Smuggling weed. He went through Texas. You did all of this wrong.
Didn't get caught.
It,
Whoa.
get-
Well-
it goes on. It goes on.
There's more?
There's
Oh,
more.
believe me, we're
Where are we?
belaboring-
Did they get to Mississippi and sell the
We
weed?
did. So that was the first run. We sold it. Everything went fine. We came back.
Yeah.
And
At a loss, you came back.
yeah. Well, we made like
And then she says,
$5-10.
"Hey,
You made $5 or $10? This sounds like our fucking Royale show. Where I made $5.
she says, we could do this again. Let's double down with 4 ounces, or what is it?
I know we did 6 ounces at one point. We did it quite a few times.
At one point, you go to New Orleans.
Went to New Orleans for Voodoo Fest, and we,
Voodoo Fest.
yeah, it was fun. But
More white people with beads
Oh,
and
but you were more
bones.
into the concert than the selling weed part, right?
oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh.
Is Cage the Elephant, and fucking who else?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Tell us about. Oh, we're at a concert. We're supposed to be selling weed, but
yeah.
go ahead. You get fucked, right?
Oh no, that's Mississippi. I got fucked in Mississippi.
All right, then go to the fucked part.
So,
By the way, if you paid to get in to see Cage the Elephant, you got fucked.
well, it was a
There's-
festival. There were a lot of people.
I get it.
was,
I get it.
It was all
Yeah,
right.
there's probably
overall.
side stages were probably more entertaining, but go
Oh,
ahead.
most definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let him go.
But
Let
anyways,
the kid go. Watch, he just hangs himself. Let him talk.
so I had a friend tell me that school was getting back in one of these college towns in Mississippi, and that he would take us to all these frat parties and shit, and we'd sell whatever we brought. So I was like, well, it'd probably be super fucking convenient. You know, those like cones that Chad brings and like rolls up.
Right.
You can buy like clear ones in Colorado.
What? A comb?
Cone? Like,
Just
Oh, yeah.
let him go.
So I was like, it's a clear joint. That's cool. I think that'll blow all these dumb fucking rednecks' minds all away. So I was like, let's roll them up like into a gram each, and we'll go to these frat parties and sell them like $15, $20.
Like
a pop.
Lucy's.
Yeah.
You've got, yeah.
Let him go. Let him go.
So we get there. Not only is there nobody on campus, but dude's just like, yeah, I don't know of anybody that can take that off your hands. And this is after we drove all the way down there, and I was just like, well, and I should add, before we would make these drives, we would make people pay us like half of it first, just so we wouldn't get down there and this shit wouldn't happen.
Oh, like a guarantee.
Yeah. We'd have gas money.
Did they pay half?
They did.
All right.
Where
They
were
pay the other half?
I'm paying the second half.
Well, that's a different story on a different occasion. But we'll,
All right, go ahead.
we'll
Go
get
ahead.
up to
Just
that. Anyways, so I don't want to drive all the way back to Colorado with about like quarter of an ounce in the car, just because we have Colorado tags. Mississippi, that's just, hey, we should pull over that fucking car right there, which is eventually what happened. But so we sort of cut our losses on it. We made like,
well, if that's what eventually happens, let's get to that part. You're driving back with all this fucking weed you couldn't sell.
we never drove back with anything we couldn't sell.
Wait, you
We
were at
sold
the
all.
festival. It was a blowout, or the wherever you were at. It was a blowout. So you had to end up driving away with weed.
Oh no,
He
he
just said no.
He was just like, I'll
Let me
take it off
carry
your
this.
hands myself,
Okay.
but I can only give you this.
Oh,
And it was just
fuck you.
like,
yeah.
Okay, but I guess something's better than nothing.
Sure.
And I grew up with this dude, so it's not like I could have just been like, no, fuck you, but
All right.
I didn't. Should have, but.
So you're driving back to Colorado, all gumpish.
So, and I don't know. I think this is actually the same trip we're talking about, but on the way down, heading towards it. We're on the highway in Arkansas, and there's a bunch of cars around us. Like, you wouldn't be able to get around us unless you just force your way into it. And so we're keeping up the flow of traffic, going under the speed limit and everything. And we see this cop coming up. He goes a little bit past us, and then he kind of slows down, and he sees us. And then he just sort of forces his way through traffic behind us, stops us. You were going 77 and a 75. I just wanted to make sure everything was all right. Looks at Mrs. Gump and was just like, could I have a word with you in the cruiser? And we have weed in the car. This is, I think, we
Mrs.
had
Gump
4.
is hot for a limited time only, but at the time she's hot. So Arkansas cop.
Soon she'll have
22,
no
23,
choice but
yeah.
me. But anyways.
So you get pulled over with weed in the car.
But to ask someone to go in the cruiser?
So, but of course, we're not going to be like, no, I'm not doing that, because immediately, as soon as you say that,
Yeah.
suspicion, we're going to strip this car. So we're trying to avoid that. So we're just like, all right, just do what we got to do. So she gets in the car, and he starts asking her questions. And I'm not around for this. It's just what she told me. Just random stuff. Like, where are you guys going? Who are you going to meet there? What's his cousin's name that you're going to meet? This and that. And that's when we realized we didn't have matching stories. And luckily, well, before
You realize after the fact you didn't have.
yeah, we realized after that. So she's answering all these questions, and she hears this weird noise in the back, and she turns around, and it's a K9 unit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And so he just prints her off this big warning ticket.
He
because-
must just be smelling your dog.
Exactly.
It's a beggar.
Well, this is before we had the dog. So he gives her the thing, drives off. And best I can make up. He didn't take me back to the car, thank God, because we would gone to fucking jail immediately.
Or
You'd be
you just
sucking
sucked a
dick.
High five. Sorry, go ahead.
We all been there, bro.
Or both. So he would have taken me to jail after I would have sucked his dick. You should have seen the cop. He knew
You
where
fell
I'm coming
for
from.
it.
So,
This is. I know Gump's getting to a go Gump, go Gump, go.
So the best that I can think of was he wanted a reason to search the car, but he couldn't just based on like Colorado tags, Arkansas, you're out of place. So if the dog started barking at her for whatever reason and we weren't smoking on the way down there, suspicion, figure out, search the car. But luckily he didn't bring me back there because we would have been fucked. And two, he came over to my side of the window, and I just drew this tattoo out of a jar and got that. So I think he thought I was
It's almost
retarded
a spider.
child. Yeah.
It's
Well-
a terrible tattoo. Go ahead.
There's 8 legs, so it
Hang
checks
on.
out.
But it
I
saved me from going to
pre-interviewed
jail.
Gump like a week ago about this story. So I think he's getting to the story where, but this might be 2 stories. Go ahead. Go on with the story, because if it's not the story where, oops.
I can get to the oops story.
All right, so
So-
this is a different story. You got out of that.
You got out of that.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
just
Let's
barely,
get
but
to
we
the
did.
one you didn't get out of, you stupid cunt.
Pretty shitty cop can't fucking figure out a reason to search the car. Let's go.
He still
Exactly.
hasn't learned his lesson. He got pulled over. He got out of it.
Clearly.
Hey, I can get away with it again.
He's in Bisbee.
So then you get pulled over another time trying to smuggle weed for pennies on the dollar.
In between that, we got a dog to sort of, we got a dog and we trashed the car to sort of, hey, we live in our car. Feel sorry for us. Please
It's not
don't
the
search
it's
our
not
car.
the thing you're in now, right?
No.
Okay.
Did you honestly get a dog just as a distraction to cops when you're running?
Oh,
drugs for
no. We
fucking
just figured out we could
minimum
use him
wage?
as that. No.
Oh, you wanted a dog anyway.
Yeah, we had been planning to get a
Oh.
dog, and then we were just like, oh, you're in this shit too now,
All right,
dude.
so now you're
So-
smuggling. Where are you coming back from smuggling drugs again to get your minimum wage Wendy's dollar menu? I'll have a junior bacon cheeseburger too for 99 cents. Is there tax in this state? Well, okay, we're going to have to upsell the weed. It was supposed to be. Go ahead.
So, in
You got
between
pulled
that,
over again on another ride home.
get pulled over again.
On a run.
A run.
Yeah, we had everything in the car. We had stuffed 2 ounces. We had sold 2 or 4 ounces beforehand. in
So
different towns.
now you have
Doesn't matter.
double junior bacon cheeseburger money.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we have 2 more ounces stuffed inside of a pillow. We put like extra padding in it, so
Oh,
that way, like,
Good cover.
yeah. And
No one would sleep on weed.
No
Well-
dog could smell through that
Well,
cotton.
that's why we would normally keep the dog with us. He would sleep
Oh.
on the pillows in
Yeah.
the back. So if they came with other dogs,
Your
well,
dog smells
your
my
dog's
dog.
barking at my dog, and
Yeah.
please don't search anymore. So we would just leave like old to-go boxes and shit,
Sure.
and let stuff. We made this thing
Cop
terrible.
says to you. Cop says to you when you get pulled over. I'm trying to speed this fucking
yeah.
thing up.
He knows where it's going, Gump. I'm
Gotcha.
distracting, but he has the through
If
line.
my
has the script.
girlfriend were here, she'd go, "You don't remember anything about me, but you remember everything about Gump's story." You get pulled over. You think the weed is safe in the pillow.
The weed is not safe in the pillow because
Oh,
we
really? Shocking.
Give it away.
Shocking.
we had sold a couple grams and the pillow was open, and that was the point we realized too that the stitching we used didn't match the color of the pillow. Didn't actually. So
Speak up, Gump.
he pulls us over. He pulls us over, and a couple days before, we actually found a pipe in the car that we honestly didn't know about and
Sure.
we didn't want to bring.
Probably the dogs.
Yeah, it was the dogs. But anyways,
Morgan's even leaving, going back to the Morgan party. Morgan's party is so bad, even Morgan is going back.
I felt bad leaving her.
Will you bring my cigarettes if you come back up there?
I got
There's
cigarettes,
cigarettes
right
here.
Gump,
Hey,
we're gonna ply you
Doug
with
has a
all
whole
sorts.
Doug has a whole pillow full of cigarettes. Just ask him.
That's
All right.
We'll undo the
So you
stitching.
have the 2 ounces of weed hidden in
pipe,
the pillow, but you stitched it.
That doesn't really matter.
All
That
right,
was just
go.
something I know.
Then go.
So the dog's not with us, and that sort of throws off our whole. We have pillows in the bag. That
Wait,
might-
where's the dog?
he? Oh,
You
Is
had
this
a
where the
dog
dog
excuse
ran
and
off?
no dog around?
I think he told me at one point a dog ran off and they stopped looking for it.
I'll let her tell the part of that story because
Yeah,
I don't
no,
want to.
no,
get
she's
down
not
that.
here.
Let's cut to.
So, my friend Rachel is in the car, and she has nothing to do with this at all. Just in town, we're hanging out.
Good reason to put her in the story.
Yeah, and
What's her
So-
last name? I'm kidding. Shut up. Go ahead.
Rachel, and so
not a
she's
real last name.
she's with us, and we were just. I think we were going to get something to eat or something, and we had it with us because we were just
On the way, you were talking about, hey, I'm smuggling drugs and I really suck at it. That's what you say at a fucking Wiener Schnitzel or a White Castle or wherever you are. You go, oh, I'm just dumb and I'm smuggling drugs, Rachel.
We don't have White
Rachel,
Castle in
Rachel.
the South.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. It's a fucking
Crystal.
Waffle House. It's a Crystal Burger. Anyway,
They're all the same.
you're saying that. And now you get pulled over. Go ahead.
So we get pulled over. Anything in the car we want to know about. And
Rachel, she's a whore. I don't have my dog with me, but have your fucking canine unit smell her cunt. Smells like all my kinfolk. I know.
What?
That's what he told me.
Jumped ahead.
Go ahead.
You got pulled over, and what happened?
got pulled over, and he's just like, is there anything in the car? And at this point, I had a couple grams in my pocket, and I
Sure.
didn't know what to do. And being what's
The pillow
on the
was
news,
full.
Pillow was full. My pockets were sort of full. And being what you see on the news a lot, I didn't want to be doing like sporadic shit with my hands. So
Sure.
I just tossed it on the floor because the car was trashed, and I just shuffled my feet around, hoping it would go somewhere. It's 2 grams.
Yeah.
You know, so he's just like, is there anything in the car that we should know about? And we were just like, maybe if we give him something, we can get out of this. Because, like, it was obvious that he was going to search the car because there were already other cops there. So we were just like, we have a pipe that we found. We're from Colorado. I have a medical card. I promise you we don't have anything else with us. Like, playing good kids. Anyways.
Gump, if you can't see Gump, listener, but Gump, if he said this to you with all earnestness, you would believe him. He is a fucking complete caricature of a southern dumb kid with a recessed jaw. And
I'm just here to make you a
I
sandwich.
didn't do nothing wrong, officer.
And it works.
It does. You're
Did it
here
this time?
It did.
Wow.
So
until
we were just like, you know, we have this pipe. You know, you can take this.
You fessed up to a pipe, but you were shuffling weed
On the floor.
on the floor.
I was trying to kick it like under the
No,
front seat because I was in the back
Yeah,
seat.
because you got a bunch of,
Oh, it
tampons
every
was
time I get
terrible.
pulled over, I get nervous, officer, and I do a little shuffle dance.
We call it the Lindy Hop. But, you wouldn't probably recognize that. My daddy showed that.
So, he tells us, you had the pipe, this and that, we're going to search the car. And my heart dropped because I'm just like, this is part of this cool story where we go to jail.
Yeah.
And so he starts searching the car, and he starts finding all the old fucking rotten to-go food that we leave in there and all our dirty clothes and just sorting through all this shit. Finds the 2 grams on the floor. Whose is this?
Wait, in the driver's seat? Where you were shuffling?
Where I was sitting.
Yeah,
Sort
yeah,
of,
okay.
I didn't
Yeah,
shuffle
yeah.
it that well. I thought I did a really good job of it, but I did a really shitty job at it. So,
Didn't mean to call you out on that, but
Yeah. No, it's
I
all
just
good.
want to get back. He went in the back and said, "This is too dirty. I'm going back to the front," and he found immediately the 2 grams.
he didn't find it immediately. He had to look for it, but he found it.
Is what
like-
you were stepping on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was just like, whose is this? And I didn't want to get Mrs. Gump in trouble, and I didn't want Rachel to get in trouble because she has nothing to do with any of this. I was like, it's mine. So he
Patsy.
continues to search the car.
Is there anything else we should know about? Is that how it goes?
Yes.
All right.
We gave you a pipe to begin with. Then we found weed.
There's nothing else.
Nothing
wait,
else.
what about this
Swear to
2
God.
ounces in this busted up bag?
2 grams. 2 grams.
2 grams, whatever.
Yeah.
So he starts
But
searching.
really,
the
this time you're serious.
No, now there's nothing.
Seriously,
when I said
nothing else.
earlier there was nothing, now there's nothing.
So where he found the 2 grams was in the back seat, which is also where the 2 ounces were in the pillow in the driver's.
Where Rachel
back
was
seat.
sitting.
She was sitting. Rachel was sitting in the front passenger seat.
That fucking
Selena
cunt.
was
I knew
driving.
she brought weed into the car.
Wait, you're in the back seat?
I am in the back seat.
Jesus, what kind of bottom are you?
I don't know.
She's just a friend.
One that gets caught.
Go ahead.
So he starts searching where the 2 ounces are.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is where shit's going to go really bad because the pillow's open.
He
I'm just
probably
like, he's
said
gonna-
that out loud.
I think I did.
This is where shit's gonna
Oh,
go
shit.
really bad.
Hey, Rachel, ex-lesbian lover. This is where the shit
No,
goes bad.
Rachel's a
Rachel-
friend. Either way, we got it. The listener has it. They're bored with us being drunk. Go ahead.
So he picks up the pillow. When he picks it up on the side that it's opened up on, picks it up, looks under it, tosses it. Picks up the other pillow, looks under it, tosses it. You guys can go sit back in the car. And I was just like, oh my God, thank you. So let's sit back in the car. And all this happened because this was at a double roundabout and there's 2 stop signs for.
Oh, fuck those. Fuck those.
He
That's worse than
had,
the weed.
Hang on, listen.
before we got pulled over, he had another car pulled over right in front of the stop sign for the first roundabout. So he has lights on. We didn't see it. Selena blew through it. And then Mrs. Gump blew through it. And Rachel was just like, I think you just blew through a stop sign. Because Rachel lives in this town and knows it better than us. And as soon as she said that, cop was finishing up with that dude.
Yeah.
Came right up behind us. Right up in front of the other stop sign, ever so convenient.
Yeah.
But anyways. So he looks at Mrs. Gump, says, I'd like to have a word with you back here. And they did the whole roadside sobriety test, and she passes that, and they give her a ticket for running the stop sign. And they bring me back there, and they gave me a ticket for the pipe. Never saw that weed again.
Wow. Oh, really?
But the entire time...
Like the pillow weed?
no, the 2 grams
Oh,
they found.
Like you shuffling foot weed?
It was good weed.
Well, I get it, but...
I didn't sell these people shit weed. I was the best thing that ever came
Wait,
through that fucking
is this
town.
the same story?
Yes,
Hang
it
on.
is.
Let me go
I'm pretty
back.
sure it's not.
No, because Gump here looking for a job anyway. Like, where you go, who would work in a ice cream hut? I'm gonna have to go back at noon tomorrow and see if they got my how they feel about my application. A week ago, Gump's going, there's an ad for police department, and I call Officer Bob Friendly. I go, hey, Gump here, he wants to be a policeman
A dog.
in Bisbee.
A drug dog. He wants to be a drug dog.
He says, I said, how much would an open warrant from Mississippi for you having paraphernalia affect his job prospects? He goes, probably a little bit.
Not a lot.
Well, I think the best cops would be ex-drug dealers.
You're not fucking Serpico, dude.
I'm not Serpico. However, I don't think there's any Serpico-like
You're
shit
the
going on in
worst drug
Bisbee.
dealer ever.
You're not Serpico's landlady.
You would go,
I mean, come on, dude.
we skipped over where you were trying to sell fucking, or maybe we did get to that. They was trying to sell weed.
This is very convoluted. I don't know where we
Yeah,
went.
we
Anyway,
skipped around
he
a
would
lot.
do all these drug runs for his wife to places for no money and get no money and sometimes get busted, sometimes get fucking roughed up for weed.
But Doug, when you're 19, this is when you do
He's
that
only
shit.
21 and
I
he's
know.
still dumb.
He
I
was
asked him,
19 when he was doing this. When you're 19, 20, 21, this is when you do this shit.
I know. that's when you think that you have, like, nothing can harm me. You have that.
Stand-up comedy or drug running for no money?
But he's still, like, I asked him, I go, all right, now you're living here in a fucking camper down on the other street with Mrs. Gump. What are you going to do? What are you good at? He goes, nothing. Like, what skills do you have? Don't really have any.
I take what comes my way.
He's going to hopefully, he's asking to work at a fucking ice cream store.
I'm pretty good at a soft serve machine. Anyone around? Maybe.
It doesn't work.
He was going to work at Safeway, and he said, I keep applying, but they won't.
Doug, I walked into...
Retards.
Doug, I
with
walked
all
into...
due respect to the local folks, retarded people bag groceries at Safeway long term. Since I've been here, some really strong, developmentally disabled people have been bagging groceries, and Gump can't get a fucking call back for an interview at Safeway. I spend as much as a fucking teacher's salary every year at Safeway. And I was going to bring Gump in. And he's like, wait, well, the ice cream shop is within. Gump is not a dumb dude. He's just aware of his minimal skills. He can't do grout work. He can't do anything. But, yeah, put him with Joby or Andrew for a week. He can learn skills, but he doesn't want to because they're fucking, him and his wife
because they're not lesbians.
Joby says
Joby will hire you.
Yes. Put him to work with fucking Joby or Shawnee or Andrew for a week. He's going to learn some shit. You leave him alone here, he's going to turn into fucking Derek.
2 guys that work exclusively alone. Put him with 2 guys that work exclusively alone. It doesn't work.
Shawnee, when he had to settle for fucking Tranny Danny when they built this thing.
And Russ.
And Russ, God rest his soul. Maybe he'll be dead or a pariah, but you could learn a skill, and he would learn a skill. But if you leave him alone.
You're vouching for Gump to do manual labor?
I know how to beekeep.
He knows how to beekeep.
Wow. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Fuck him.
That's a skill. That's something we don't know about.
Oh. Bee killer bee guy.
Killer bee. Yeah.
Oh, there's a dude in town.
Can you, Gretchen, can you hook him up?
Gretchen's heard the whole podcast. I don't think you should put her on the spot.
We have in Bisbee, the preeminent. Is that the right word?
The guy with the most advertising budget.
He's the killer bee guy. When it comes to killer bees, this is the go-to guy nationally for he knows how to deal with killer bees.
Allegedly.
And allegedly, according to all national press, yeah, I would ask killer bee guy, Dave, is it Dave?
Doug, why don't you just
hey, vet my friend.
Doug, why don't you just call the killer bee guy and you do it? Don't bring Gretchen into this.
Or I can just set you up your own beehive in the rape trailer.
What's that?
I can set you up your own beehive in the rape trailer.
We want you to deal with killer bees. You gotta figure out what the fuck you can do, son. We're gonna close this podcast. But yeah, we'll figure out what Gump can do. And then we'll get your wife's side of the story later.
Thank you so much for telling your story. That's very interesting.
Thank you.
We've had we had Electric Dave who told his story on the podcast years ago of that kind of
bad drug dealing.
And Nurse Betty. Also, Doug, this is our third drug runner.
Hey, this is our third evergreen. Gump, we'll figure out what becomes of you.
Cliffhanger.
I'm guessing as the same way I guaranteed the Jaguars would win the Super Bowl that they're not in, I will guarantee
Way to date it.
Gump and Mrs. Gump will not be together by 4th of July.
July 4th. It's over under?
6 months.
Yeah, that's of 18, the year of our Lord.
No, that's 6. That's a little less than 6
And I
months.
think Gump won't give a fuck. That's just a guess.
Don't give a Gump. I don't give a Gump.
The fireworks will scare her off.
Good night.
Well, I was walking on the street with the corner of my eye, saw a pretty little thing approaching me. She said, I've never seen a man who looks so well alone, but could you use a little company? And if you pay the right price, your evening will be nice, and then you can go and send me on my way. I said, you're such a sweet thing, why you do this to yourself? She looked at me, and this is what she said. She said, it ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. We got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. Ain't nothing in this world for free. You know I can't slow down, I can't hold up, though you know I wish I could. Well, it ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. It ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. Ain't nothing in this world for free. You know we can't slow down, we can't hold up, though you know I wish I could. But it ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good.